Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am so honored to be here with you all today on this beautiful morning. And listen, we are going to have a great time today. Yes, let me already go ahead and acknowledge the fact that y'all see me with a whole different look here, right? And that's because I'm in my poetic justice mode. I have never had braids, and I was, since I'm 51 years old, I've never had braids. But I always envisioned that if I had braids, I would think I'd be like that Janet Jackson, my moles showing right here, all that little stuff, right? I done totally digressed. Don't worry about me, y'all. Pray for me. I am so excited to be here today. And we have these wonderful female and wonderful gentlemen here on today's panel. So everybody just wave at least. I know you're muted, but I just want you to wave and say good morning to everyone. As you all grab your virtual seats, we're going to be talking with the men of my walk past hell. You're going to hear from the creator herself, which is Dr. Yolanda Jerry, and she's going to be talking to us about what inspired her to create this particular anthology. So we're giving everyone time to grab your seats, and then we're going to hear from the creator herself, Dr. Yolanda Jerry. So right after this commercial break, you will be hearing from Dr. Yolanda Jerry.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 2827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we are going to kick everything off first with Dr. Yolanda Jerry. Dr. Jerry I'm going to put you up here and put you front and center. See, since I'm not in that template mode, let me put you over there and put you right in the forefront of everything, because God has gifted this woman to be able to share some tremendous things that he's put on the inside of her. Advocacy is the center of the heart of every philanthropist. Echoing that notion at its finest is the diversified professional Dr. Yolanda Jerry. She's an international best-selling author, speaker, business guru, and CEO and founder of YJ Empowerment Solutions, LLC, and YJ Inspires, a multidisciplinary advocacy program invented to help clients push beyond their past traumas. Listen, I know that there's so much to what Dr. Yolanda Jerry does and offers to this world, but I want to give her the opportunity to tell us more about her own background. Welcome, Dr. Yolanda Jerry. How are you?
Good morning, Kim Jacobs. I am doing well. I am blessed and I'm alive. I am thankful to be alive.
Well, I'm so grateful that you're here. You are the author of a book that everybody, if you don't know about it, you need to know about it. It's called My Walk Past Hell. And this book is a game changer for you. If you don't have it on your shelf, you need to have it. You're the author of this particular anthology. And I want you to tell us about that first, and then tell us what inspired you to do what you're here for today.
Absolutely. Well, the book, Volume 1, My Walk Past Hell, was a collaborative effort amongst 30 phenomenal women who came together to be vulnerable enough to share a sisterhood, to talk about their own truth and their own story. Each individual woman went through, or should I say, went through or walked past hell, not maybe once, but maybe a couple of times in their life. And so when God gave me this vision back in 2020, he was like, look, I know you're an advocate for domestic violence, sexual assault, and youth bullying, but there are a lot of women that you have encouraged to share their own truth. So why not give them the opportunity to share it with the world? And so when I did that, I put a call out for authors, and literally I got all 30 women in a matter of 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I got all 30 authors signed on. These ladies were ready to go. And as I got those stories one by one in my email inbox, I promise you, I don't know how many boxes of cleaning. I had to take a pause because those stories were so hard hitting. And I
Yes.
made sure that the women understood that we don't want the sugar coated story. I want the real truth if you're willing to do that, because I believe when we share our truth and we share the real story, we're able to push people into a mindset of healing and
Yeah.
continue to heal. Because sometimes what we as people do is we go through this trauma, but we suppress it. And then later on, it filters over into future relationships, whether that is business or personal, and we don't know where that comes from. So the more you share your story, the more you talk about it, the more you heal and are able to help others heal.
That's good. That's really good. And I do feel like it was therapeutic when I was personally reading it. You almost feel like you went to a counseling session, because to hear people pour their souls out at that level and then see the solution, the outcome, the other side that they came to is mind blowing. And so I do think exactly what you said kind of sums it up in a nutshell. What inspired you to pull the men in on this project?
So the reason why, and I really thought I was going to be done. I was like, okay, I gave these women this platform to be able to share their story, but God was like, nope, we're not done, because as you notice, not saying that the women run the world, but the women have taken over with using their voice on many different platforms. Have no problem with sharing their story to encourage people to move forward, in business or in their personal life. And when I grew up, I mean, it was all about the men. The men were in the forefront. They were carrying the family. They were doing great things. And the woman was sitting behind, but not necessarily saying sitting behind. It's just she didn't have as much of a voice. So now it's like, okay, I don't see, and this is just from my own personal experience, I don't see enough men still standing up in the forefront. So what God gave me was, you need to pull these men back. It's like calling the men back. Pull these men back and let them stand alongside the women, so that way we can be voices together in unity.
Wow. Okay. That pretty much sums it up. That's about the size of it, as my grandma say. Pulling the men back into their rightful place, and I'm so honored that you're doing that through your project. What is the name of the book that's representing the men?
So the next book is going to be My Walk Past Hell, Volume 2, The Men. This is where the men are going to share their truth, their own truth, and they're going to own it. I've already got one chapter that I had to sit down and take a back seat to, and I'm still waiting for the rest of them to come through. But these men are sharing their truth. And I think, again, if these men and come share their truth, it's going to encourage and empower other men to share their truth as well. Because let's be honest, men walk past hell just like women do. It's just, they don't, just like sometimes women don't want to talk about their story because of the shame or what others would
Right.
think. But I think now it's time for the men to own their truth and say, hey, I don't care what you say. This is what God has called me to do. I'm going to share my story, because my story is not about me. It's about helping other little younger men heal in this world, and even older men too as well.
Yes, yes. Now, I mean, you already dropping some significant knowledge and everything, right? But I do know that I do specifically know that there's one person in this project. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this picture up right here. Yeah, let me pull that one up and go on and take everybody there, because we ain't gonna have no playing no games. You trying to make it seem like, I'm just bringing the men in, and I'm definitely going to let the men share their story. But there's one particular man that you're not only just allowing him to share a story, but you're also writing some other pieces of your life together in this journey called life. So y'all are writing a whole life story together. So talk to us about this.
Well, just so for the people that don't know, this is my other half. This is Frank Henderson, Pastor Frank Henderson. He's been a great person in my life. That God has brought us together. And what better way than to continue to do things together? And this is just another project that we'll be doing amongst many others that God gives us together. But besides him being a pastor, even in ministry, people have things that they have endured, and it's just only right if we're going to lead the people, they need to know the truth about us as well.
That's good. Good, good. Well, Dr. Yolanda Jerry, we're so glad that you're here today to be able to share in this whole journey, and glad to have, I could have put you two side by side just for a minute so everybody would kind of know y'all were, booed up right there. Right. Okay. So there you go. Now I don't think I see you blush too much, Pastor Frank Henderson, but I think I got a little blood. Look at your cheeks over there. All right, listen, so glad to have you all here today. And what we're going to do, Dr. Jerry, is we're going to go and hear from Bishop Carl E. Jones Sr. right after this commercial break. I am so grateful, Dr. Jerry, that you brought these men here to the Kim Jacobs Show. And I can't wait to read the book and to be able to promote it right here on the show. So right after this commercial break, everyone, we're going to hear from Bishop Carl E. Jones Sr., and he has a story to tell. You don't want to miss it.
It's not just another day, it's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we're getting ready to hear from Bishop Carl E. Jones Sr. How are you today, Bishop?
I'm good, Miss Jacobs. How are you?
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm doing great, and I'm so glad to have you here today. Bishop Carl E. Jones Sr. has served as the pastor of Greater Parkview Church, GPC, in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. I used to live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Uniontown, Pennsylvania for many years. So I actually lived in Greensburg directly too, on Austin Street. I don't know if you know what that is.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, but he's been there since July 2003. He began his Christian walk at an early age, and I'm going to let him talk to you more about that, but who he credits his success to in ministry. And we're going to talk about that in detail. But in March of 2009, Pastor Jones and the members of GPC purchased the new and current church edifice. He's pastored Greater Parkview Church now for the past 18 years. He also does some other things outside of pastoring, which we're going to learn more about as well. And I'm really, really pleased to have you here today. I know that you are a member and former branch president of the Greensburg Jeanette NAACP, and you've partnered in ministry with some wonderful people on this journey called life. So we're going to learn more directly from Bishop Carl E. Jones Sr. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you, Miss Jacobs, and also to Dr. Jerry. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. I'm humbled by being a part of this this assembly of such outstanding men and women, and I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
I'm excited to have you here. I was just like, oh, I'm excited to have you here too. I know you've actually been, well, first of all, tell me what is this, why the zebra's back behind you on the picture? Because I didn't have that as a question, but I see that, so I got to ask.
That's actually a backdrop here in my office at home. In 2017, our twins asked to go on a mission. They wanted to do a mission trip. We asked them what they wanted for their graduation, and they said they wanted to do a mission trip to Africa. And so we ended up visiting Johannesburg, South Africa, and Cape Town. And in the process, while there, I picked up this pencil drawing of these zebras and just loved it. And we've now had it, of course, matted and framed, and it's part of my backdrop. And it's always a remembrance of being in the outskirts of Africa.
Wow, that's interesting, because I haven't been to Africa. yet. And I know a lot of people that go on different mission trips, you know, you want to make sure that when you go, you know where to go, kind of. And so
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear about your journey. And I know that's a whole different story because that's not what you're here for today. But you have a group that goes over, or you just kind of went with the group?
No, we actually just my brother-in-law and his family, and my wife and our family, and we all went to Africa in 2017 and had a great time. We did missions. We worked in daycare centers and in youth centers doing mission work, and at the same time also seeing the sights as well. We spent time in Pilanesberg going through on safari. So we did some things that you know, we normally would not have done, and guess what? We had a great time doing it.
Excellent, excellent. I know you've been pastoring for quite some time, actually 18 years. So I want you to tell the audience about your journey that led you to becoming a pastor and what ultimately made you so successful, from your own words in your bio.
Well, my journey to becoming a pastor is God came to me many years ago and said, "Despise not small beginnings." And
Yes.
little did I know that he was going to take me to a little small church in Slickville, Pennsylvania.
Now, I haven't heard of that one.
I know. I had never heard of it either. And little did I know that I went there, and there were only 5 members. And we praise God that today we have 255, 260 on the roster. And because of the pandemic, things have kind of slowed down. So they're slowly coming back, but we're steadily doing ministry. We are very connected to the community. We actually gave out turkey baskets this past weekend to a lot of needy people, and it's just a beautiful work. It's a beautiful work to work for the Lord.
Now that's a blessing, and I know that you also are bivocational. Tell us what made you go that route in ministry, because many times, you know, pastors become pastors and they're pastors and they walk away from outside work. But tell us about your journey there.
Well, mine was bivocational because I actually started out in the automotive industry many years ago, and I spent roughly 25 years with General Motors and 22 years with General Motors, and that's, believe it or not, that's a part of where my walk past hell comes from, because there are many facets of hell, and there have been many facets of hell that you can go past. Well, mine happened to be from the corporate arena, and you know, but Dr. Martin Luther King said it this way: "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And what we have to recognize is that racism is still alive and well and living in these United States. As a matter of fact, I venture to say that United States is the biggest mission field that we can ever come across. It's not Haiti, it's not Rwanda, it's the United States. And I happen to experience that type of lifestyle, if you will, within, or should I say, that negative part of a lifestyle within the corporate arena. And I want to make sure that my brothers that are coming behind me and my sisters that are coming behind me understand where the, if you will, where the rocks are in the stream, so that they'll know how to get across and how to get through.
Wow, that's really good. Now you also balance a lot of different hats and roles and responsibilities, but you have a mantra that you live by. And I saw that in your bio. I didn't know if you want to say it or you want me to read it and then you kind of elaborate on it, because I really love this mantra.
Well, actually, my mantra is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we have to recognize that until you show people how much you care about them, they don't care what you know.
That's right.
You can know the Bible, you can know all 1,164 chapters of the Bible, but until you show that person that they are more than just a number, or they are more than just another congregant, or that they are more than just another person, you have to let them understand that they are important not only to you, but they are important to God. And so many times what happens is we get caught up. And we get caught up in these type of things, and we forget that people are people. And so you have to enjoy and show them the love of Christ through you, not around you, but you show them the love of Christ through you.
That's good. And so from your chapter that you're going to be writing, that you've already written here in the men's version of your Walk Past Hell, his Walk Past Hell, what do you want viewers to walk away, or readers to walk away learning from your chapter?
That you can too shatter that glass ceiling, and that with God, all things are possible.
Oh, shooky ducky. I didn't know that was going to be the angle. See, now, see this what I'm saying, Dr. Jerry? This is good. Okay, so you're saying that you can shatter that glass ceiling and that all things are possible. Okay, I cannot wait to read your chapter, and we're so glad to have you here today. We're going to definitely make sure you all stay connected with Bishop Carl Jones. And he is C. Jones Senior at gmail.com. If you want to send him an email, C. Jones Senior, SR for the podcast listeners. We're across 8 different platforms. So it's C. Jones SR at gmail.com, and then it's greaterparkviewchurch.net. Okay. Thank you so much, Bishop Jones, for being here with us today. And I know that you have another engagement, international engagement, and we're just grateful that you were able to stay here with us. When we come back, and I don't want that way you don't have to pop off the screen without it being a commercial break. See how I know how to respect the leadership. You know how I'm Church of God in Christ. I know. You don't just let the bishop go out any old kind of way where it's like the pop this. He had to leave off the screen. You knew he had to go, Kim. All right. So after this commercial break, we're going to come back to Pastor Frank Henderson, the Boaz of Dr. Yolanda Jerry. Bishop, God bless you on your journey and have a great rest of your day. Gentlemen, we'll have all of you all coming up very soon as well. God bless you. And next, we're going to hear from Frank Henderson right after this commercial break.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented. And I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everyone, and we are back with Pastor Frank Henderson. So we're going to learn more about this gentleman right now. Pastor Frank Henderson is a man of many talents and skills. He was raised in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where he was heavily influenced by the leaders of his city and allowed him to hone in on some specific skills. We're going to learn what those skills are directly from him. But he grew up a certain way that really made it kind of hard for him in his journey. And we're going to learn more about that as well. And at the age of 15, he gave his life to Christ. And that's where the whole journey began. So I'm excited about you hearing more from him directly, because over the last 20 years, he's done something miraculous that's not just working as a pastor, but he has believed in some other people. And you're going to learn what he did right from him. I'm good at this, right, Dr. Jerry? You know I was gonna do that, right? Be able to turn the whole bio into a mini series. So welcome, Pastor Frank Henderson. How are you today?
What's up, Miss Kim? How you doing? Thanks to Dr. Jerry too. Yeah, thank y'all so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Glad to have you here today.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to find out, how did you develop your passion for preaching and singing? First of all, I didn't even know you could sing like that. So you could just like belt out a tune at any given moment?
People do that to me all the time.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to do that to you. Yeah, get your mind right.
I got you though. I got you.
So tell me about you developing this passion for preaching and for singing.
When I was a young man, I knew early in my life that is what I would do. I was probably about 12 or 13 and, growing up, latchkey kid, kind of raising yourself. And then about 15, that's when he came and got me. I was 15, hanging out in them streets. I was a treasure boy, gang member. He got a hold of me right after my 10th grade year. That summer, it was a wrap. I left everything. I've been running for Christ ever since. And I was 15 years old. Yep.
Wow. So ever since 15, and so there were some specific people that really believed in you. Who were some of those people that you'd like to give tribute to?
Well, number one, I give to my mom. I think she's the greatest influence in my life ever. Secondly, to Bishop R.T. McCarter in his, he's gone now, the late Bishop R.T. McCarter, but he was the first father figure I ever had in my life. I was not used to male presence until I met him. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm
And
so
it-
excited about this book, Miss Kim, because here we are, we get men to give voice. And, you know, my part as a forward author is just to be John the Baptist. Call me Johnny. I'm just going to pay the way and throw the alley. They can go get the oop and touch lives.
that is a blessing from God. So what do you really hope that men and women, because I know I'm going to get it, and many women that are watching the show, we're going to have copies of it as well. What do you hope that readers will walk away learning from all of the stories that are being shared in this book?
Well, I hope they learn what I learned. And that is that when I was growing up without a father, I wasn't used to male presence. So once I gave my life to Christ and I started really attending church and got embedded, you know, baptized into the body, I started meeting men. And one of the first ones I met was my pastor. That's when I learned that men are not gorillas. I used to think, you know, if I tried to talk to a girl and her daddy came in the room, I felt like a gorilla was walking in the room. And what I learned, and what I want other people to learn, is that men are powerful creatures ordained by God to do powerful things, and that they don't have to be afraid of us. We bleed like they bleed. We hurt like they hurt. We have stories just like they have. And, you know, one of the things that touched me more than anything is I remember my grandfather. Even though I didn't grow up with my father, I remember my grandfather. Very quiet, very quiet. And because he was quiet, all hell broke loose on that side of the family. And I know that by Dr. Jerry giving us this opportunity for men to begin to speak, we're going to begin to change a lot of things. And people are going to begin to realize that there's a lot of wisdom in men, and that a lot of men have given up and decided not to tell their story. But these guys have risen to the occasion. These guys have said, we are going to speak. We're going to tell our stories. We're going to give you some great advice, some great wisdom. We have walked a long road, and it's our time to talk. And I'm glad about it. I'm glad to be the guy, the forward author, to say, hey, I'm going to open the door. You guys come in and talk and touch lives, change lives, just like Bishop McCarter did for me. Taught me soft skills, taught me how to talk to people, taught me how to shake hands and look people in the eye and smile and be just a caring person in the world. So I think these guys are going to do great, and I'm all for them. I'm with them. I'm on the same boat. So let's get it.
I am so excited about you being on that boat, because you actually feel like there is like a specific purpose that God put you on this earth to accomplish. Yes. What is that purpose for you?
Yes, as I got older, you know, when you're younger, you parakeet. You say what other people say. You hear them and then you parakeet. You know, he said this, so I'm gonna say this too. But as you get older, I think I was around 32 when I really felt like God said, I put you here to empower my people. And ever since then, you know, I'm 55 now. That's what I've been endeavoring to do, empower God's people.
That's good. That's good. Now, I know I asked Dr. Yolanda Jerry, but it's only befitting to not just, I don't know, you know, I don't know why is it that everybody asks the women and be like, oh, that's your Boaz. But what does the man have to say? Because it's like, that's nice that you know, he found a good thing in you, but let me hear from him what he feels about you. So let's talk about this picture from your perspective, Mr. Pastor.
That's a powerful picture. I remember the day we did that picture, and you know, we had so much hope for gain about where we were going and what God was calling us to do, and just our love for one another. And I look at that picture and it gives me complete joy, because I know I won't always in my life. One day it's going to come to the point where I'm not here or she's not here. But while I'm here, I'm going to love her out loud. I'm going to be 100 about it. I'm going to let the world know. And I want the world to see that just like the first couple, and God blessed them, told them to be fruitful and multiply, replenish, subdue, and take dominion. That's what we all about. But we not so caught up in ministry and things like that we don't recognize that the gift, really the destination, is that God has given us one another. And we're just going to push that to the next level.
Yes. Oh, let me put you back up there beside your boat.
She's stirring up right now.
Y'all look at each other. Look over to the screen. The other way. You gotta look the other way. You gotta look to your left. And you look there. Y'all looking at each other now.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is beautifully spoken. And Pastor Frank, I know when you say be fruitful and multiply, now I know you ain't talking about multiplying no more children, but I know you planting some other
We're talking
things.
about stuff like books, movements, ministries,
Okay.
all of that good stuff.
All right. And you've been planting some other things too outside of books and ministry. What is that?
Right. I started in 95 working with a group of men. We planted a church in Burlington, North Carolina. And then in 99, boom, it just, I don't know what it was. It's nothing I set out to do. It's just what has happened. And I think one of my strong suits is to show people that aspire to leadership how to take 10 people and build a fellowship where they are. So I believe in church planting. I've been doing it since 95.
Wow. Well, we're so glad to have you as a part of this anthology and cannot wait to read your forward to this project. Pastor Frank Henderson, you can stay connected with him with epicfc.org, epicfc.org. And we again are glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So we're going to go to Fabian Cardona next. Are you all enjoying yourselves here on the Kim Jacobs Show today? Listen, I know that all of these studio audience comments are coming in right after Fabian. We're going to go to all of our studio audience comments because I'm trying to figure out how to get through the whole show and on time and make sure that I also honor all of your comments. But I don't want to just flip your comments in and not acknowledge them. That's cray, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment and actually acknowledge all of your comments. So flood them in and I will get through as many as I can, like in a flash round kind of situation. Is that fair, everybody? All right. All right. So Fabian, we're glad to have you here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And I am going to probably, I think I'll take another quick commercial break. And right after this commercial break, we're going to, it's really not going to be just a formal commercial break because what we're going to do is I'm going to talk to you about one of our episode sponsors, which is none other than Lamb Funeral Home. Lamb Funeral Home, they are out of the Concord, North Carolina area. But the thing I think I really love about them, they're certified in all 50 states. And if you are a veteran or you're an adult child of a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, you don't want to miss the opportunity to contact Mr. Terry Lamb and the Lamb Funeral Home team. They have over 28 years of funeral home experience. Their phone number is 704-782-3011. Again, that's 704-782-3011. And Mr. Terry Lamb is an actual veteran himself. Now, they serve all other areas, especially with us knowing that over 700,000 people have passed away due to COVID, something that came about that we didn't even ever anticipate in our lives. You want to learn more about contacting Lamb Funeral Home. They'll talk to you about what to expect, immediate needs, and funeral pre-planning, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, so we're getting ready to hear from Mr. Fabian Cardona. Yes, I actually like that name alone. That's why I'm saying it 50 times. Mr. Fabian Cardona is an Air Force retired Master Sergeant, and I'll let him tell you how long he served because this man does not look like you could even possibly have even served in the military for that long. But okay. And he currently works for Headquarters, the Department of Homeland Security, as the Assistant Director of Mobile Assets. He is a husband and father of 2 kids, ages 19 and 17. And I'm going to skip down because some of my questions come to some of that I skipped over here. But Fabian holds 2 federal fleet management certifications, an associate degree in applied science and vehicle maintenance, and Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice, and a Master of Arts in Management and Leadership. Welcome, Fabian Cardona.
Thank you.
How are you today?
That's what I like to hear. All that emotion, everything. Thank you so much, Ms. Kim, for having me here. And thank you, Dr. Yolanda, for the opportunity. I'm doing great. My heart's full of love right now. Seeing everybody all participating here is just nice to see that we can actually get a group of men to just tell their stories, right? Stories, man, I got stories, but you know,
and you
Dr. Yolanda only gave me 4 pages to put my story in there. So
what I know that I specifically have not, if you notice, I didn't ask anybody, what was your chapter title? Am I allowed to ask him, Dr. Jerry, his? Okay, good gracious almighty. Well, it's hard for me to get something out of Dr. Jerry's group with that because she's like, we're going to keep this under lock and key. Tell us the title of your chapter.
I actually still don't have the title for my chapter. It I don't want just to throw out a title and don't mean anything.
That's good.
I want this title to mean something for the readers, for those people that are gonna, because the title is like the front page.
That's right.
The title is gonna draw people in and see what does Fabian really have to share. What's his life like? What happened in this frame, in this period of his life?
Well, what
how
frame
does
of
that
the
relate?
period of your life are you going to be kind of taught? I know I clipped you a little bit on, but I want to hear what little piece.
So
not everything, but just give us a snippet.
okay, so I'm going to bring you back to one of the wars. First of all, I joined the Air Force, like you said. I served almost 22 years in the Air Force, 21 and a half years, retired 7 years ago. So you guys do the math. But this is one of those periods in my life where I never thought it was possible for an Air Force guy to be in the front lines of a war and seeing the things that I got to see and the suffering and yeah, I'm sorry. This is very difficult. But not only I got to do that one time, I got a chance to do it 4 times. So
yeah,
it is. Yeah, I truly understand what some of the soldiers, Marine Corps, all those people go and what they're faced to on a daily basis. Probably not so much now, but back in the early 2000s, there was a lot of wars going on at the same time, and I know I got to share some moments with those guys. Froze to death with them, sweat my butt off with them, wearing a chemical ensemble in 130-degree weather in Iraq. So yeah, so my story is in reality is I'm letting people know that you're not alone. You don't have to suffer by yourself like I did for so many years before I actually some came to me and just told me that I needed to seek help.
I'm so grateful that you're here talking about this today. And I know that you call this one thing in particular an invisible wound. And so I
Yes.
wanted you to speak about that a little bit, about an invisible wound that people don't get to see.
Right. Absolutely. It's an invisible wound. You don't see it. Men like us veterans, when we're in the military, we're in these leadership positions where we have to help others. We have to be, like Frank said, the leader, the dad, that male figure for a lot of young soldiers and airmen, and not just men, but also women. And we have to show them the ropes. We have to help them go from point A to point B, hold their hands, teach them the ropes, teach them how to do their jobs, listen to their life stories, listen to their problems at home. My wife is actually active duty, and she's still going through that. She's still seeing people every day. They come to her office. Hey, Chief, this is happening to me. Hey, Chief, help me with this, financial issues. And, you have to front and act the act. And these people will never know when they're talking to me and I'm trying to help them out that I probably have more issues than they do. And in my situation, I just, I didn't feel comfortable talking to anybody. I was just bottling it in, and it just kept growing and growing. And but it's something that you don't show, and just because you don't show and you're not crying or suffering, it doesn't mean that it's not happening to you right now. So we can see people walk around happy, but we never know what the true story is behind closed doors, what's going on in their lives. So just want to bring some, so just to let people know that, that they can do some self-search and seek help. Don't let until sometimes it's too late, right?
Yeah, so many people don't get to come home to even share their story of Afghanistan and Iraq the way that you have. And so I'm grateful that you've taken this strong commitment to help those that have gone through these are traumatic. I obviously cannot even remotely imagine what you've experienced or what you and your fellow comrades have experienced on this journey of your life. And so I can't wait for you to share your story in writing so that I can hear it and really kind of feel it. And whatever the title is from there, I know that it's a God ordained title because it's going to be a game changer. Now, I do know that you're also an avid motorcycle rider and a volunteer, and you've kind of coupled the two together. Talk to us briefly about that on a more positive note here, and then we're going to transition over to John Windsor.
Real quick, so I started riding motorcycles as I was a kid. I was 12, getting all these big old motorcycles. I took a long break. This was in my home country of Colombia, where I was born and raised. And then once I got to the States, my dad gave me a motorcycle, and it might have been early 2000s, right after I came back from Iraq. And he gave me a motorcycle, and once I started riding, and only motorcycle riders will know this, there's nothing better than you and this machine and just feeling the wind on your face and being able to think and just take it all in. And I met a lot of riders, and a lot of those riders were veterans. And come to find out, there's a lot of veteran riding associations out there. I started riding with the American Legion Riders. I actually began with those guys when I was stationed in Okinawa in Japan. We did a lot of good things for veterans, clothed veterans, we fed veterans, we cleaned cemeteries, we had all these meetings, fundraisers, and all the money was for veterans. Now I'm riding with the CVMA, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, and this is nationwide. We have chapters all throughout the U.S. We have chapters in Germany, also in Europe, and also in Asia. There's a couple of chapters out there, and that's all we do. We get together. We raise funds for our veterans, to tackle suicide. All those veterans that are homeless, right? We provide meals for them. All the money that we raise goes towards veterans. So
that is so awesome, just so awesome. So I'm so grateful that you've been here with us today, Fabian, and I cannot again wait to hear more of your story, because I'm assuming, Dr. Jerry, y'all are going to go on some kind of national tour, maybe. I want to be able to come to an event.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
The goal is to have the men and women come together. Yes.
I was like, okay, I wrote that down as a note. I said, okay, what's next for My Walk Past Hell and His Walk Past Hell? You got to have like a My Walk Past Hell and a His Walk Past Hell conference. Yes, I want to come. I want to come. All right. So listen, I'm so excited about this book that's coming out. And Fabian Cardona, you can stay connected with him on Instagram at Mr.Fabian. All right. So I am glad that you shared and opened up at that level here on the show today. Okay. So we're going to get ready to go. I promised that we would go for a second here to all of our comments that are pouring in, and then we're going to go to John. So let's see. All right, I see a lot of, oh man, wait a minute, I might not be able to get to all these comments. Let's see. I'm just going to flood your comments in. Good morning, Paula. Good morning to you. Dr. Jerry's Tribe. Hashtag that. Brenda, you know what to do. Yes, you shared it. Thank you so much, Paula. Hello, everyone, and hello to you, Nicole. Anybody that you want to address anything to, everybody, feel free to say something to them. Paula. Good morning, everyone. I'm so proud of you all, and especially my baby. No, that right there. And Trinia, she like, that's my man. That's what she said. Don't play. He belongs to Antrinia Cardona. Yes. All right. She like, you better she like, Kim, you know what? You go ahead and get off that show without saying my comment. I bet you be in trouble. That's what she would have been. All right. Okay. Tiffany said, "Hey, Queen, love this Yolanda Jerry. We need men to write and hear their truth also." Lee Wright says, "Good morning, mighty men and women." Dr. Joe Harris says, "Hello, hello." And then people are tagging people as well. And lots of hellos. And you already know how you can stay connected with Dr. Yolanda Jerry. Her information is IamYolandaJerry.com and Yolanda@YJEmpowers.com. All right, I see you all tagging people. Pastor Braxton Bowser, hello. So glad to have you here today. And I wanted you to come on so that you can connect with some of these powerful men too. And you yourself, obviously, is very powerful as well. Brenda, you said, come on now, my faves, my faves. Rita said, looking good, guys. Athena, who is our sunshine expert here on the Kim Jacobs Show, says good morning to my sister Kim and to the panelists and the speakers. My mommy's on. She said, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to a great show. This was early on. Wonderful work. Mavis said, good morning. Good morning. Dr. Jerry is speaking to people. And true statement, something that was said earlier. Lots of comments came in earlier too. I love that. Kimberly Fowler says she's been a previous guest. Yes, people are inviting people. Great word. Love it. Hello, hello. All of these are great comments coming in, everybody. And I want to make sure that we keep them going throughout the rest of the broadcast. I will have to just probably pop them up because, oh, is that Shannon Hancock? Shannon Hancock. She is a part of my Walk Past Hell, the anthology. And so she's in this first edition. And she also works with the Kim Jacobs Show. So I'm so excited to have you on today, Shannon. You know, you could pop on and show your face if you want to, too. I love pulling y'all in. All right. Yes, Pastor Henderson. Yes, Pastor Henderson, I agree. No need to be afraid. No need to be afraid. Men have voices to empower others as well. And it's all been shared. Lots of comments. Okay. So what we're going to do is I will keep all of your comments flooding in, but I do want to take a moment right now to acknowledge John Windsor Jr. And we're going to put you over here, front and center. John Windsor. All right. John Windsor Jr. is a native of Gulfport, Mississippi. He has deep roots in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, commonly known as the DMV area. He is a two-time graduate of the University of Charleston, earning a BS degree in organizational leadership and management, as well as a master's and MBA. And he has been in active duty again for a whole slew of years, which I will let him tell you about, and some of the things that are his humanitarian efforts. He is a multifaceted leader and has a very diverse military career and holds many different titles, which we'll talk about some of those. But I want to welcome John Windsor Jr. to the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you? Once you unmute yourself, you can tell me.
Yeah. Oh, how you doing, Kim and Dr. Jerry? Thank you guys very much for having me on. It's an honor and pleasure to be on here with you guys and to share this platform with all these amazing gentlemen.
Oh, so glad to have you. And I am keeping all of your comments going on. But now, how long have you served in the military, Mr. Windsor?
Oh, it's been 26 years, recently retired. 26 years.
It look like you could be another one of 26 years.
It's been a long road.
But amazing.
The best decision I could have made for my life at that particular time, joining the Navy. So we got a lot of Air Force veterans on. I'm the Navy guy that's on board, and a lot like Fabian. I felt like, yeah, I'm a dirt sailor is what we call us guys, special warfare, where we are on the ground. We don't do ships. And so with that being said, I never thought that I would be in a position like Fabian as well. So struggled a little bit in writing this story and trying to consolidate it into one event. So yeah, it was quite a struggle with all the experience of a 26-year career.
And then to try to get it into a few pages, it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah,
so I know that you've received a lot of commendations, and I really want to hear about some of those regarding your humanitarian efforts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to brag on myself too much.
You can do it today.
I've been, just about every natural disaster, I've been there. And that kind of puts you in front of some pretty incredible experiences. Hurricane Katrina, the tsunami and earthquake in Japan, the Fukushima disaster. We also had the issue with the earthquake in Haiti, and how that whole scenario played out. So each one of those events, I received a commendation, Navy Commendation Medal for each one of those events, where I went over and supported the humanitarian effort, built fleet hospitals like just this past year due to COVID, built the emergency fleet hospital in Guam, where we were deployed at that particular time. That was to serve the entire Pacific area because hospitals were being overrun. So, I mean, every single event like that, it's humanitarian.
That is unbelievable. I mean, that's I was reading here, and it says in Hurricane Katrina, the 2010 Haitian earthquake, the Fukushima tsunami in 2011, and most recently the COVID-19 pandemic. And you have been at the forefront of all of those efforts in helping people rebuild and regroup, and I'm so proud of you. And
it's one of those,
we don't even know the people that we have among us. Wow.
It's one of those situations where you have experience like that. The next time something comes up, you're going. So it's not always a pleasant experience, but it is a fantastic opportunity to get out there and really help people. So that's one of the reasons why I stayed in the military as long as I did, because I really enjoyed what I did. I really enjoyed having that opportunity to get out there and support people where they need us the most. You know what I mean? And a lot of times you don't think that the military is going to be the one to show up for you in these types of situations, but a lot of times we are. So clearing roads, clearing debris, digging people out after earthquakes, saving lives, delivering babies. It's crazy. It was a crazy military career.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And you know what? I was popping all these comments up, right? And then I put this one down real fast because I was like, well, what if that's not her husband? But then I realized, oh, that is her. That's her Boaz. Ashira said, hey, that's my handsome husband. I'm so proud of you. And she put like 1,000 exclamation points. Because what she wants you to know is she wants some brownie points later. She's like, don't play. Your wife is here to support you, okay? Ashira, we see you, and so glad to have you here supporting your husband today. She's like, y'all better recognize, I don't care what comments you get to. This is exciting right here. This all her comments came in right there, under your picture. That's funny. Speaking of which, you actually balance a lot as a husband and as a father of 5. Tell us how you effectively balance your military, family, and career and everything.
Yeah, so that was extremely important to me. It was one of those things that somewhere in the middle of my career, my commanding officer sat me down during an evaluation period, and it was one of those types of, again, I don't like to brag, but it was one of those types of evaluations where it's like, okay, it's not a lot that I can say negatively about you right now, but what I want you to do is I want you to take a look because you put a lot of effort into work. And you are excelling at every facet, but are you paying enough attention to your family? Are you taking a lot of time to make sure that you are getting that work-life balance? And it was the first time in my life that I actually had to take a sit back a little bit and take a look at that and really like, wow, am I? You know what I mean? I'm trying so hard to excel and so hard to succeed, especially for my family, because the reason I joined the Navy was for my kids. You have some kids, you got to do something. You know what I mean? And college wasn't it for me. I needed to have a job. I need to make money. I need to figure it out right now. And so I did what I had to do, and that was the path I was on. But I did have to take that little step back and really take a look. Am I spending enough time with my kids? Am I spending enough time with my wife? Because they're going to be here with me when the career is over. And that's I want to make sure my family when it's over. So
that's really good. And I actually just really quickly looked here to see if I could find something. And this is what I found is what is this?
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So my wife, Ashira, is the CEO and founder of Catalyst Counseling and Therapy Services. This is our team. I'm the CFO / vice president for Catalyst Counseling.
Which one is your wife here?
That's Shira right there in the front.
Right? She's so beautiful.
Yes, indeed.
Shira,
Yes.
like you girl, Shira, like now, Kim, I love you. You know what to do. You know what to do. Yes,
That's
Shira,
my
I found
baby. Yes,
okay,
she
I
was
see a lot
also
of pictures on here. I don't know which ones are family and which ones not, but I see a whole slew of folks. But I'm not gonna go to all of them.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh my gosh,
stop
she's gonna
sharing,
kill
but I'm excited though. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. What do you want people to learn from your chapter?
It's really a story about making the wrong choice and to understand what happens when you make the wrong choice. Sometimes you can have a pretty significant setback, but that's just a setup for a major comeback.
Oh, see, that's like a Lifetime movie right there. Because you just said all of this humanitarian stuff and everything. Now you're gonna talk about making the wrong choice in your chapter.
Yes.
Oh my G. It's
Yes,
gonna be
indeed.
good.
So the title of my chapter is ironically titled, it's an irony, is The Devil You Know. In the military, you're always sent someplace where it's always unexpected. You don't know what you're going to get. And sometimes we think that the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, right? So that's an old adage. However, that wasn't true in this case. And so it's an irony. It's the irony, play on words as it pertains to that. And my issue was at home. It wasn't abroad. So I take everybody on that journey and the decisions that I made, which were some of the wrong decisions, and how it took so much from me and how I was able to come back from it. And I'm hoping that a lot of young men are going to be able to sit and read this and learn from some of the mistakes that I made during my time, and they can make different choices and understand how the circumstances I set up for myself caused a lot of harm. So, yeah.
Well, we're gonna be. I can't wait to read your chapter either. This is gonna. I think I'm just gonna carve out a whole weekend and just say, okay, I gotta go on like a little retreat here and get like a deep dive into this book because you're gonna be all inspiring so many people. So I'm grateful for that. Now we're going to go to our last, but definitely not least, because he has a very robust story. And don't y'all touch that dial. Let me let y'all know right now that the Kim Jacobs Show, we depend heavily on community contributions. So the only way that this show can function Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time is through the support of community members like yourselves. It's just like how PBS or CBN and the Word Network and these different networks, they depend on community support. Well, that's what the Kim Jacobs Show does. We come to you live with original programming like this, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. In order for this to continue, we really do need your financial support. So make sure that you support it any way that you see fit. All right. And we're going to go to our next and final guest, Mr. William Scott. Yes, let me go ahead and pull Mr. William Scott up here. He is a strong proponent of positive living. And he is a 5-year survivor of something that I'm going to let him tell you about. Not just one thing, but a survivor of 2 things. So he values life more than ever, and he learns to seek something new every day. He loves encouraging others, and he does something daily that does that. And I'm going to let him talk to you about that too. But he's a retired Air Force veteran with a bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies who's devoted 24 years of dedicated service to his country. The Civil Service Curriculum Development Manager. Wow, y'all got all this going on. This is amazing. Of the Air Force, and his wife, Janice. He has been married. Oh, I got to see if I can find a picture of Janice. You on Facebook, William Scott? Okay. Unmute yourself because you get ready to talk. Okay, I got to find that.
Yes,
okay.
I am on Facebook.
All right. What I want to do is welcome you to the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you today, William?
I am doing very well, and thank you, Kim, for having me, and for Dr. Yolanda Jerry, my spiritual daughter, for her even taking the time to think about asking me and allowing me to be a part of this project. I am truly blessed and honored for the project and for being here.
Well, we are so honored to have you here. I know he was talking to you, Dr. Jerry, but I done just chimed in. I'm like, okay, girl, we happy. We happy to have you here. Listen, you recently have overcome some significant life challenges. Tell us about those. And you're a survivor 2 times over of something.
Yes, yes. So just recently, my wife and I both have just gotten over COVID, where we were both in the hospital at the same time. She was in ICU for 4 days of while she was there, for a total of 11 days. I was in the hospital for 3 days. We both ended up going by way of ambulance. They told her if she would have waited one more day, it would have been a totally different story. When it was all said and done, she came home with a walker, had to learn how to walk again. I came home on oxygen, having to use that to breathe. Was not fun, was not in any way what we were expecting. We tried our best to maintain what we could as far as trying to say COVID safe, but we both ended up with it. And thank God we are survivors of it. And then 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. And the thing about that is it wasn't so much the cancer as it was God taking me through it and showing me that he was faithful to me all the way through it.
God really is faithful. And for him
Yes.
to, because do you know how many people have not, and I mean, God is faithful to them too. So I'm not, and I want to be very
Mhm.
clear. Whether you live or you die, at the
Yes.
end of the day, at least from my perspective, whether I'm on this earth or whether I'm not on this earth, I'm still a blessed woman of God.
Amen.
Because at the end of the day, I know where my ultimate home is. So
Amen.
all of us are going to have to leave this earth at some point. But
Yes.
none of us, at least I can only speak for myself, I don't want to leave any sooner than I absolutely have to, right?
That's
I'm
right.
not signing
That's
up to be like, just, let me go. Well, one time I did, but I won't talk about that right now. I did sign up voluntarily. But I will say that I'm really grateful that you are and your wife made it, and you're here on this earth to continue to share your story and your journey.
Thank you.
Also, there's something that you do daily, and you call them something specific, something that people eat sometimes, M&Ms. So talk to us about those M&Ms.
Yes, so those are my morning motivational messages, and I began that back in 2016, the same year that I got cancer. I was sitting down at the end of 2015, watching the news and just seeing so much turmoil and everything that was going on that was so negative, the news and everything else. And I just got to the point, I said, well, you know what? I am going to actually every day when I get up is I'm going to send a positive word to my kids and to my wife. And that's how it started. Shortly after that, a good friend of mine who's actually going to be on your show next week, he ended up moving up to where was it at? Pennsylvania, up to Pittsburgh for a job. And his
Okay.
wife was still here. So I decided I was going to add them into it just to keep them encouraged while he's away working and she's here. Well, I didn't know or realize that as time would go on, that more and more people would hear about it and want to be a part of it. So it has just grown and grown. And so Monday through Friday, each day, I send out an M&M, a morning motivational message, just to inspire, to encourage, to help people along their day's journey.
Oh, that's awesome. And Lee Rice said those messages are golden, And you also have a strong passion to help men understand their life's purpose. Tell us about your organization.
Well, it started out as a joke, quite honestly. Some friends of mine, actually, we were 4 veterans, and we were out one night watching a UFC fight. And we got to laughing and talking about, based on a previous situation that occurred in each of our lives, how that we were all we got. And we kind of referenced it to the movie New Jack City, the Cash Money Brothers. But of course, we weren't the Cash Money Brothers, but we started talking about CMB, we all we got. As time went on, we said, well, we can't just be CMB. What does that really mean? And as we got to thinking about what is it that we want to do, we want to encourage, empower, help men, inspire men. And just like Dr. Jerry was talking about earlier, trying to get men to come back. Because as we said, a lot of men, we've lost our voice. And so here is the time where we need to come back and begin to do the things that men were called to do and God ordained us to do. So calling men back is just that. We're just trying to get men where they need to be, help them to get back in their footing, and by all means, let God get the glory from it.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you know what? That's a powerful ending right there. Oh my goodness. I am so excited and I cannot wait to hear more about. I keep saying hear and see because I really want to come to a conference, Dr. Yolanda Jerry. You know what? I want to make sure that you get a chance, Dr. Jerry, to have any closing comment that each of you may have right quick. And we're going to go ready to close out today's episode. William C. Scott, his email is Scotty, SCOTTYC 41.ws@gmail.com. And you can also follow him at William C. Scott on all of his social media platforms as well. I am excited that you guys have graced us with your presence today. Dr. Yolanda Jerry, you want to say any final thing?
I just want everybody to know, because I know it wasn't mentioned earlier, just as in the first book, My Walk Past Hell, there were 4 words that represented the women. And so I just want to share the 4 words that these men collaboratively have come together to say that represent them. And these men are saying they are empowering, genuine, revealing, and transparent. So make sure that you all, when this book comes out, come through and support these men. I know the women from volume 1, they're going to come through and they're going to do what they're going to do what they do because they're extra like that, Dr. Jerry's child. But hopefully everyone else that's tuning in today that doesn't know Dr. Jerry's tribe come through to also support the men, because we need more men to come to the forefront. Look, there you go. And look, see, and we got husbands supporting wives and wives supporting husbands and future spouses supporting each other too as well. Look at that. See?
Yes. I am loving this, loving it. And so you say those 4 words one more time.
Empowering, genuine, revealing, and transparent.
Revealing and transparent. That describes these gentlemen that are going to be, you're going to hear from some more next week actually as well. This is a handful of the people that are in the anthology, but empowering, genuine, revealing, and transparent describes all of these men that are part of this project in a nutshell. And you can go to his Walk Past Hell to be able to get a pre-ordered copy. All you got to do is start pre-ordering. Don't worry about when it's coming out. Make sure you in line for the day it come out. You can get it ordered. Okay. All right. Any of you other gentlemen have a quick closing comment?
Just thank you for having us. It was amazing. I really didn't know what everybody else was writing about. Now I really can't wait to hear everybody's story.
Well, good. Any other closing comment?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
I would just like to encourage everyone we've heard it before, let go and let God. Sometimes we can't control what goes on in our lives, but God is always in control. So let him control it.
Excellent. Okay. And did anybody else have a closing comment? All right. Okay, listen, we have had a great episode here. All of our sponsors we've shared with you throughout today's broadcast. Make sure you let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And please make sure you take a brief moment to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Turn that notification bell to all. Today, I do want to say a great big happy birthday to this gentleman who is a frequent expert on the Kim Jacobs Show. He's blind, and he says, there's nothing wrong with saying I'm blind, and don't say that, you watch something and you have to say it differently from me. When you say I watched something, say did you watch it? So his name is Kiwan Amy, and today is his birthday. We celebrate you, Kiwan. We're excited to have you here on the Kim Jacobs Show as we just say happy birthday to you. And he is the author of Don't Focus on Why Me, because Don't Focus on Why Me is the book that he has written. And this is the day he was in the military as well, everyone. This is the day he was taking pictures for his church, and he was at a river taking some photos. And this was the motorcycle that he was riding when he drove off, and the accident that took his sight and changed his life forever. So his book, Don't Focus on Why Me, and today is his birthday, and we just want to acknowledge him as one of our experts. Happy birthday to you, Kiwan. And I hope you're watching this today, because he said, BG, just say it regular, watching it. Don't be talking differently. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Get your pre-ordered copy again today. Right when you get off the show, go to hiswalkpasthell.com. Hiswalkpasthell.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you for being our outstanding guest today here on the Kim Jacobs Show, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. We have a graduation, Dr. Jerry. Another young lady graduating. Dr. Jerry graduated from our master class as well. And so tomorrow we're going to be having a young lady that's graduating from the program. And she has a fire show. It's going to be off the chain. See you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good day, everybody. Bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.